Availability management ensures that all services delivered are matched to or exceed the current and future agreed needs of the business in a cost-effective manner. 2 points are highlighted here. Match to suggests that there is a strategic analysis that takes place to ensure that there is a conformity between what is needed now and in the future. And cost-effective ensures that there's a financial component that's associated with it, that availability is subject to strategic concerns around finances and internal planning. Availability management has 4 primary foci within the organization. First, they should be the subject matter experts in the tools and practices associated with the discipline, maintaining methodologies, techniques, and metrics that support it. These should include all aspects of service delivery that potentially might impact availability, training, skills, process effectiveness, and tool sets. Second, availability management monitors availability against established targets, ideally encompassed within service level agreements. Third, the key strategic document is the availability plan. Availability management is the custodian of this document. They maintain it and ensure its continuing integrity. All new services and modifications to service level requirements must be embodied within the document, which, like the capacity plan, forms an integral part of the service knowledge management systems. Fourth, when incidents and problems affecting availability do occur, availability management participates in the restoration of service and the mitigation of any effects due to unavailability. Service availability is a cornerstone of customer satisfaction and business success. There's a direct relationship between service availability and customer and user satisfaction. Given this, it's still possible to achieve business, customer, and user satisfaction and recognition in spite of service failures. The way a service provider reacts in a failure situation has a major influence on customer and user perception and expectation. Service availability is only as good as the weakest link in the chain. It can be greatly increased by the elimination of single points of failure or an unreliable or weak component. The more proactive the organization is in addressing availability issues, the better service availability will be. Availability should not be purely reactive to service and component failure. The more events and failures are predicted, preempted, and prevented, the higher the level of service availability. Lastly, it's cheaper to design the right level of service availability into the service from the start rather than continually attending to it afterwards. Adding resilience into a service or component is invariably more expensive than designing it in from the start. Availability management processes have 2 kinds of activities associated with them. The reactive aspects involve the monitoring, measuring, analysis, and management of all events, incidents, and problems involved in unavailability. These activities are principally involved within operational roles. The proactive activities of availability management involve the proactive planning, design, and improvement of overall availability. These activities are principally involved within the design and planning roles. Both of these activities occur at 2 interconnected levels. Component availability involves all aspects of the basic constituent elements of a service. Service availability involves the total overall service offering, the sum of all constituent elements, their interactions and interdependencies. There are several metrics that are used to measure availability. The reliability of a service can be improved by increasing the reliability of individual components or by increasing the resilience of the service to individual component failures. That is, by increasing the component redundancy, such as by using load balancing techniques. The mean time to restore service downtime covers all the contributing factors that make the service component or CI unavailable, such as the times to record, respond, resolve, repair or replace, and recover the service to the condition it existed in prior to the failure. Most often the contract with the service providers will include agreed levels of availability, reliability, and maintainability for the supporting services and/or components. Availability comes at a cost. As the graph below demonstrates, the higher the percentage of overall availability desired, the greater the cost. The 5 milestones on the curve represent strategies to achieve greater availability. The ordering reflects where, in the consideration of availability, the strategy would normally be considered for the first time. Configuration items placed into the infrastructure will have reliability features usually expressed as mean time between failures. The use of products within high mean time between failure rates will, over a large statistical sample of devices, translate into higher availability. In most cases, many components will form a system, and multiple systems may form a service. To the user, it is the availability of the service that matters. They don't particularly care which component has failed. Service availability is determined by techniques such as component failure impact analysis. This technique uses the mean time between failure rates of the components to determine the overall rate. Effective processes such as ITIL can have a significant impact on improving overall availability. These benefits have been cited as 1. A single point of accountability for availability through the process owner is established within the organization. 2. A refocusing of IT availability requirements to a business orientation. A business and user perspective of IT service availability is taken to ensure optimal usage and performance of the IT infrastructure is achieved to deliver maximum benefit. 3. Cost justification of availability requirements. 4. The levels of availability required are agreed, measured, and monitored to fully support service level management. Shortfalls in the provision of the required levels of availability are recognized and appropriate corrective actions identified and implemented through the service level management processes. 4. The frequency and duration of IT service failures is reduced over time. And lastly, a transition in the IT support organization mindset from error correction to service enhancement, from reactive to proactive attitudes within the IT support organization is seen to add value to the business. System management involves tool sets, policies, and procedures to keep mission-critical systems up and running. It includes the monitoring, diagnostic, and automated error recovery to enable fast detection and resolution of potential and actual IT failure. It makes performance adjustments based on dynamic circumstances through the use of various techniques. Amongst these are monitoring the amount of disk space required, providing early warning of potential space issues, checking that backups have been performed and that they are viable input into the recovery procedures, performing the analysis on index usage, tuning indexes to maximize index usage, creating, dropping, and altering indexes as required for performance improvement, monitoring internal database space for fragmentation that can lead to excessive page chaining resulting in poor performance, schedules database reorganization to correct excessive fragmentation. Recording resource shortages in the area of CPU and memory, making recommendations on need to acquire resources, constantly checking error log files for warnings or errors reported by database management systems and taking appropriate measures to resolve root cause, determining timing of updating internal database statistics to improve optimizer performance, verifying structure integrity of database schema and taking corrective actions as required, and performing reports on performance and resource trends for proactive environment management.